Right, so let's dive right into this. Think for just a second about the apps you use every single day. The messaging app you just checked, the banking portal where you pay your bills, that streaming service we all binge on the weekends. We seamlessly tap, swipe, scroll, and we rarely stop to think about the massive, invisible structures of code holding the whole shebang together. But how exactly are those digital worlds built? And more importantly, how has the way we build them completely transformed over the last few decades? Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going on a pretty fascinating journey. We'll start from the highly rigid, heavily planned coding eras of the past and travel all the way to the wild, AI-driven creativity of today. We're looking at the evolution of software engineering.
Here is our map for today. First, the evolution of software. Second, the waterfall model. Third, the agile shift. Fourth, AI and vibe coding. And finally, the future of engineering.
Section 1. The evolution of software. A timeline of workflow shifts.
So the software industry has been on this continuous, almost relentless search for the absolute perfect workflow. Back in the 1970s, building software meant rigid models. You had to finalize these massive, inflexible blueprints before writing a single line of code. But as the internet boom hit in the 2000s and demanded serious speed, it gave birth to flexible frameworks. Fast forward to the 2020s, and developers moved into active AI collaboration. Which brings us to today and the absolute bleeding edge of the industry, vibe coding. But to truly appreciate where we are right now, we really have to understand where we started.
Section 2. The waterfall model. Planning everything in advance.
Okay, so waterfall is the oldest and arguably the most rigid software methodology out there. It is entirely defined by its strict, linear sequence. From requirements all the way down to maintenance, the fundamental rule is lockstep execution. Every single phase must be 100% completed and meticulously documented before the next one even begins. There is literally no going backward. You finalize the architecture entirely before development starts, and you absolutely finish all your code before testing begins. Now, in an era of rapid updates, that sounds impossibly slow, right? But in fields like aerospace, banking, or medical systems, a late-stage code change isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a multi-million-dollar liability. If you're building software to keep a commercial airplane in the sky or to manage the power grid, you simply cannot afford to move fast and break things. In these ultra-high stakes environments, Waterfall's intense predictability and its heavy documentation aren't just bureaucratic hurdles. They are a required, absolute safety net. But outside of those highly specialized fields, Waterfall's predictability quickly became a massive liability when markets began shifting way faster than release cycles. Because testing happens so incredibly late in the process, a fatal logical error can just sit there hidden for over a year. And discovering that fatal error right before launch? Yeah, that essentially breaks the budget and blows up the entire timeline. The industry pretty quickly realized that an inability to adapt to changing requirements was an existential threat.
Section 3. The Agile Shift. Adapting to change.
So if Waterfall was a slow-moving cargo ship, Agile is like a fleet of speedboats powered by sprints. Instead of trying to map out a massive 2-year project right from day one, Agile chops development up into tight 2 to 4 week cycles of planning, building, and testing. This was a huge deal. Startups could finally get working software into the hands of real users almost immediately. They could iterate and actually pivot based on real customer feedback rather than sticking to those theoretical, rigid blueprints.
But it's a stark trade-off. Waterfall offers rigid predictability, while Agile gives you rapid adaptability. But Agile is far from perfect. Because product requirements are constantly evolving based on that rapid feedback, it's highly prone to scope creep, where your initial vision just balloons completely out of control. Plus, without intense team discipline and coordination, that fast-paced flexibility can quickly devolve into undocumented chaos.
Section 4. AI and Vibe Coding. The Artificial Intelligence Era.
For a long time, Agile was the undisputed king. Until AI entered the chat and fundamentally changed not just how we manage developers, but what developers actually do. I mean, we're now looking at automated debugging that spots logic errors in real time. We have instant generated documentation filling in all those gaps that Agile teams used to skip over. We have systems that generate working code in seconds just from natural language. The repetitive boilerplate work that used to consume weeks of an engineer's time is simply vanishing. It's a real game changer.
But hold on, because here is an absolutely crucial takeaway from our sources today. AI is powerful,
But it is not a replacement for engineering judgment. Blindly accepting AI-generated code without a deep understanding of the underlying architecture is practically inviting massive security vulnerabilities. The human oversight part of this equation is entirely non-negotiable. If we outsource our core problem-solving skills, the AI's hallucinations become our real-world disasters.
And that tension between unprecedented speed and strict engineering rigor brings us to the absolute bleeding edge of development right now: vibe coding. It's this wild emerging movement where you describe ideas in natural language to rapidly generate full applications using AI tools. It actively prioritizes creative experimentation over traditional line-by-line programming.
The workflow here is fast, chaotic, and entirely fluid. You just type out conversational prompts, plain English commands like "build me a secure checkout page," and boom, the AI instantly generates the application structure. You interactively tweak the outputs on the fly, experimenting rapidly without any upfront planning. It lowers the technical barriers so dramatically that a non-programmer can literally spin up a prototype in an afternoon. You're no longer really writing syntax. It actually feels much more like being a film director, continuously guiding this incredibly fast, intelligent assistant.
But the ethos of vibe coding essentially boils down to build first, understand later. And yeah, that is phenomenal for validating a quick idea or building a throwaway prototype, but prioritizing vibes over architecture. That leaves you with unscalable, messy code. When you actually move that code into a production environment, you end up having to maintain a complex system built by an intelligence that the so-called creator doesn't actually fully understand.
Section 5. The future of engineering. Combining the best approaches.
So what does this all mean for us? Well, ultimately, there is no silver bullet in software engineering. Waterfall secures high-stakes stability, but at the cost of speed. Agile adapts beautifully to market shifts, but demands heavy coordination. AI-assisted development supercharges output, but risks severe human overdependence. And vibe coding? It empowers incredibly rapid prototyping, but invites serious maintenance nightmares. The modern engineer must choose their methodology based on actual risk tolerance and scale, rather than just blindly chasing the latest trend.
Because we have this vast array of tools at our disposal now, the developer of the future is transitioning from a typist to an architect. They're going to spend far less time writing boilerplate syntax from scratch. Their daily focus is shifting to designing robust, high-level systems and acting as critical evaluators to validate AI outputs. They'll be the ones tackling the highly complex logic problems that language models still fail at, expertly guiding these tools to execute the routine heavy lifting. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important question to ponder. When AI writes the code, what becomes the developer's most valuable skill? Well, it's understanding complex systems. It's asking the exact right questions. And above all, it's possessing the critical judgment to evaluate the solutions these machines hand us. The tools are absolutely going to keep evolving, but human ingenuity and critical thinking, that's what will keep those digital worlds we rely on spinning safely. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how the world around you is actually built.